Okay, I'm calling the meeting to order. Okay. We'll start. Hello, everyone. We'll start with the invocation given by Member Mann, and then we will have the Pledge of Allegiance given by Member Lewis.
Let us all stand, face the flag. Let us have a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, if we can now have the roll call and determination of a quorum.
Chair Odom,
Present.
Member Bandor,
Present.
Member Lewis,
Present.
Member Mirza, absent excused, Member Mann,
Present.
Member Schropa,
Present.
and Member Johnson.
Present.
Quorum is met.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I would also let the board know that Member Stewart has resigned. Therefore, now currently the board, Code Enforcement Board, we currently have 6 out of 7 board members and 1 out of 2 alternate member positions filled. Okay. Now we will have the swearing in of the officers and witnesses.
All right, please stand and raise your right hand. Not the attorney. All right, do you and each of you solemnly swear and affirm that testimony you're about to present shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next order of business will be a reading of the consent agenda.
Good evening, Madam Chair and board members. I'm Doug Gaines, Assistant Director of Support Services. We have one case that has been dismissed. That's 2021-00131. We had some problems with the mail, and we weren't quite sure if that was going to be what it's going to suffice, so we're going to dismiss it and recite it. And we have one for continuance for May, and that's 2021-00098.
Okay, thank you. Can we have a motion?
Motion to accept the consent agenda as provided by the city.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? Motion carries. Okay. We will go right into, okay. The first case to come before the board is case number 20201-00187, and it will be presented by Officer Loeffler.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Case number 2021-00187 is 502 Worst Road. And this is a case that was also before the board last month for a different violation. It's just gotten worse, and these are all different violations in that case. On March 12th, 2021, this officer did observe in regards to citizen-generated complaints. Damaged crooked, broken, dilapidated fence section, junk and debris littering the side yards of the house and the front porch, tall weeds and grass, and the trash can left curbside indefinitely, not on pickup days. On March 15th, a violation notice was sent out to the property owner, which is identified as the Swift Michael Lee Estate, as well as posted at the location a violation notice for 10823Q, and that's for the damaged, dilapidated fence section. 10824D for the junk and debris littering the side yard and front yard of the house. 115-3B for the tall weeds and grass. And 147-27A for the trash can left curbside during non-collection times. If you're having trouble seeing the overhead, the exhibit's pretty self-explanatory. It's a corner lot. So the bottom left picture is the overgrown grass on the easement outside the fence. The two top pictures are the side of the house on the street view from Worst Road. And the bottom right picture is the front yard as viewed from Worst Road. And that's actually like a extra door or something laying in front of the house, and the poor flag is fading and falling off the pole. I have not had any contact with the property owner or any representative from the property owner. Yesterday, I saw somebody arrive at the property in a vehicle. By the time I made a U-turn, they had already gone in the house and left. So they just ran in and got something. But somebody did remove the posting for the violation notice, which gave them until April 6th to comply with the codes by correcting all those violations. On April 9th, a notice of hearing to this meeting was posted at the location in the City Hall lobby with 24-hour public access and sent out certified delivery to the property owner. The notice of hearing was removed from the property by persons unknown. As of this date, it remains non-compliance. The city is requesting a compliance time frame of 10 days and $50 per day per violation for non-compliance with any orders this board might make. Additionally, in case it's determined the property is vacant, the city is requesting a provision to have the city at least abate the trash and the tall grass.
Excuse me, you said it has gotten worse.
Yeah,
What was the worst part? I mean,
well,
what
when
has
I was there for the lady living in the trailer out back,
Mm-hmm.
the grass wasn't tall and there wasn't hardly any junk and debris. And the stuff in front, I couldn't even photograph the backyard, it was so tall.
Okay.
It just looked like a green picture, so.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion.
Okay.
In case number 2021-00187, I find the respond to be in violation as cited as of April 6, 2021, and given until May 7th, 2021, that's 10 days, to come into compliance or be fined $50 per day per violation until they're found in compliance. And since the property is vacant, I further move that we authorize the city to go ahead and abate the property and assess those costs to the owners.
Madam Chair, can I second the motion?
Okay, I have a motion in case number 2021-00187, made by Member Bander and second by Member Mann, that this court, that the respondent be found in violation for codes as cited as of April 6, 2021, and be given until May 7th to come into compliance or be fined $50 per day per violation until found in compliance. And further, in the event that the property becomes or is vacant, we authorize the city to abate the property and assess the cost of the fines to the owner. Okay. If there's no discussion, we can have a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay. Next case to come before the board is case number 2020-02121. And I'm also informed that we do have someone here speaking towards this case. Okay, so, okay.
Hello, Madam
Okay,
Chairman.
just one moment.
Case number 2021-02121, property address is 317 Lee Street. The board found them in violation on October 21st and given them until April 26, 2021, or fined $25 per day per violation. As of today, the property is not in compliance, but the attorney is here to speak to the board.
Okay. And would you,
May I speak?
yes, please.
My name is Roger Kelly. I'm the attorney for the property owner. Just as Carmen indicated, the officer, the board generously gave us 90 days to complete the eviction. So this is rental property. Gave us 90 days to complete the eviction so that the cleanup could be conducted. Unfortunately, I underestimated the impact of the COVID virus on the court procedures.
Okay.
I've passed out a timeline. The hearing before where the board gave us 90 days was on January 26th.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
I also received one. We'll make it a copy with the case file.
Okay. Are we done? Okay.
Okay. I did not receive the order. Obviously, the board meeting was in the evening on the 26th, as it is tonight. I did not receive the order until the morning of the 27th. On the morning of the 28th, I filed a motion to amend the complaint to assert a grounds for eviction being this proceeding. A proposed amended complaint attached to the motion and the withdrawal of the first amended complaint that a prior attorney had filed. Which I'll just briefly say that this eviction was filed in August. But it was only filed as an eviction for non-payment. Mr. Slate, the tenant, filed a response that looked like he copied out of the governor's order for COVID eviction, raising COVID as a defense, which stopped the eviction. In October, the prior attorney filed a motion to amend, but that was as far as it went. From October until I took the case over on the 28th.
Sir, would you mind holding the microphone? They can't quite pick you up. It just pops off of there. Should be turned on already.
It's just so they can hear you for the recording and TV.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. The The other attorney filed a motion to amend the complaint to assert a cause of action or a cause of eviction based upon the expiration of the lease, which may or may not have survived the COVID moratorium, but then it never proceeded any further past that until I took it over on January 28th, where I filed a motion to amend and a notice of appearance. From January 28th, we were attempting to get a hearing date from the judge or find out if the judge would sign the order without a hearing. This is the type of order that is very customarily signed without a hearing. On February 18th, the courts, and I'll also mention this, neither the judge nor the judicial assistant are working in the courthouse. They're both working from their respective homes. You can't get them on the phone. If you call the number for their judge's chambers, it just goes to voicemail. The only way you can communicate with them is by email, which obviously can be frustrating when you send an email and then just have to wait for a response. When we filed the motion on the 28th, we requested the judge's judicial assistant, notify us whether the judge would require a hearing. On February 18th, we were advised that the judge would require a hearing. On February 18th, and she had told us the earliest hearing date she had available was March 4th. So we filed a notice of hearing on February 18th, the day we were told that, for the hearing on March 4th. On March 4th, we had the hearing. Mr. Slate did not appear. It was a telephone conference hearing. The judge granted the motion, but the order was not signed. Even though the hearing was held on March 4th, the order was not signed until March 9th by the judge. The judge in the order gave Mr. Slate 10 days to answer the complaint, or in the alternative, 7 days to clean up the property. Under the rules of civil procedure, since it was served by mail on Mr. Slate, he was given an extra 5 days on both of those time limits under the Florida Rules of Civil Procedure. So the time for his compliance from answering the complaint was March 23rd. On March 23rd, when he did not file an answer, we filed a motion for default, motion for writ of possession, and a motion for final judgment. The judge did not sign those, the final judgment and the motion for writ of possession until April 14th. We immediately, on this day the judge signed the order, we immediately obtained the writ of possession from the clerk on the 14th. Oh, I'm sorry, I take that back. It wasn't immediate. The order to issue the writ was entered on April 14th. On April 15th, we obtained the writ of possession from the clerk. It was delivered to the sheriff on April 16th. The earliest the sheriff was able to post the 24-hour notice was April 22nd. The sheriff has now scheduled the eviction for tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. At this point, if you add up the time limits, the very first thing we had to do, we accomplished within 1 day. We submitted the order the day of the hearing. So that was, again, on the day it was due, as soon as we could do it. And on the deadline for Mr. Slate's performance, we filed the motions for entry of final judgment. So we could not have done this any faster. If you add up the time that it took us to do the things, it came to 2 days. If you add up the days that we were waiting on the judge to sign the order or to notify us whether we were going to have a hearing, that took 61 days. The sheriff took 6 days to post the 24-hour notice, and then from the 22nd, which is Thursday, it took another 6 days before he's going to be executing executing the writ of possession. Everything we did as quickly as we could. but our hands were tied by the COVID restrictions. I will represent to the board that 2 years ago, I could have had this completed in less than 30 days. But because of the COVID restrictions, the judge working from home, the JA working from home, and just the inability to push things through any faster than the judge would sign the orders, our hands were tied. The eviction is now scheduled for tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I would ask the board to respectfully request that you give my client another 30 days until the next board meeting to have the property cleaned up. As the board may recall, putting the property back into compliance is going to probably take more than just this eviction. My client's going to have to hire someone to go in there and clean up the property. I mean, it is a literal junkyard, and that is not an exaggeration. So she's going to have to hire somebody with trucks and equipment to go in and clean up that yard. So based upon that, we would request 30 days to complete the restriction. I thought 90 days would have been way more time than we actually needed, but it turned out it wasn't. Through no fault of my own and through no fault of my clients.
Well, Counselor, thank you for being here today and representing the owners. I understand that with COVID, there's been some struggles along the way with everybody with evictions and whatnot, so I also appreciate you being here to explain everything. I know you have a request for 30 days, but you know, this has been something that's been going on for a while for us here in this board. Would 27 days be adequate?
It should be more than adequate.
Okay.
Again, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow at the eviction.
All right.
But assuming he gets evicted tomorrow, which I can perceive of no reason why it would not happen, then that should be more than enough time.
Well, how about we do this, I'll make a motion, and if it's an issue at our next meeting, we can discuss it then.
That's more than acceptable.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion.
Okay.
In case number 2020-02121, I move that the compliance date that was set by the board be extended for another 27 days to May 24th, 2021.
Second?
Just a minute.
Discussion.
Okay. We have a motion before the board. Mhm. Okay, we have a motion before the board in case number 2020-02121, made by Member Bander and seconded by Member Mann, that the compliance date be extended to
May 24th.
May 24th, 2021. Okay. Is there any discussion, or can we have a vote? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Council, if you want the signed motion, I can have that after the meeting. Otherwise, I will just mail it off in the morning.
Yeah, you can email it to me in the morning.
Yeah, okay.
You got my email address on the board.
No problem.
Okay, thank you.
We're excited. Everybody lives around there, the neighbors are all excited. So is my client. Yeah.
It should be, after all this.
Yeah, their hands are really tied.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the mayor will stop calling me.
Okay. And now, let's see. Okay. The next case to come before the board is case number 20201 00099 and presented by Officer Segrest.
Officer Segrest is not here this evening. Again, Doug Gaines, Assistant Director of Support Services. We spoke this afternoon that it's 2292 E.H. Pounds Drive, and it is still not in compliance. So it's order imposing fine for the board's orders.
Okay. So me. Okay. Okay, and that case.
Mrs. Chairman, I move that in case number 2021-00099, that the board imposes fines as of May 4th, requiring 2021, requiring compliance as previously set by this board.
Did you mean April by chance?
April.
I'm sorry. Yes, April.
This is supposed to be the day after. So where were you coming from, the April?
Down here at the
I
bottom.
thought it was May, the day after. I'm sorry, yes. I stand corrected, April 4th.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. We have a motion before the board in case number 2021-00099, made by Member Mann and seconded by Member Bander, asking that the board impose fines as of April 3rd, 2021, as previously set by this board. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Okay, the next case to come before the board is case number 2021-00105 and presented by Officer Loeffler.
That is 502 Worst Road. It remains non-compliance. The city is requesting order imposing fine and lien.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Okay, yes.
Madam Chair, as it relates to case number 2021-00105, I move that in this case, the board imposes a fine as of April the 8th, $50, as previously set by the board.
2021?
2020.
I second it.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion before the board in case number 20201-00105, made by Member Lewis and seconded by Member Bander, that the board impose fines as of April 8th, 2021, as previously set by this board. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. And with that being our final case, let's see. We will now have comments. Let's start with Justin.
No comments.
Okay. Member Lewis.
No comment.
Mr. Bell.
I'd like to direct this one to Officer Loeffler. Thank you very much for providing that picture. It is a little difficult sometimes to see screens, so I did appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay.
Yes, and thank you, Officer Diaz, for staying, Officer Diaz, thank you for being so consistent with that other case. Thank you.
Okay. Member Stropra.
It's good to see everyone again, and good to see that everybody is staying safe.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Member Johnson.
Excited to be in my second meeting.
Okay.
As I continue on, learn more and more, but I'm excited to
Oh, great, thank you. Mr. Gaines?
No comments. We'll put Mr. Johnson on the agenda, and he'll be christened as your new member, regular member.
Okay.
Good job, everybody, tonight. Thank you, everybody who came into compliance, too.
Okay, and no comment?
No comments really, just good to see you guys all here tonight. I've had the first round of the vaccine today, so I'm definitely feeling it in the past couple hours. My arm is like, oh my lord, so hopefully that's absolutely. But very nice to see you guys again.
Okay, and Officer Loeffler,
No comments, thank you.
okay. Okay. Well, it was certainly wonderful to see everyone, and good going with the vaccine. Hopefully that'll be the worst of it. I had both of mine, and that was the only issue. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to working with our now new members. And again, like I said, we have, 6 out of, 7 regular board members. So we're looking for one alternate?
Yeah, we can have one alternate.
Okay, yeah. So if you're aware of anyone who would be interested, please let them know. And with that, everyone have a wonderful rest of the month, and I'll look forward to seeing you next month. We're adjourned.